All right. Good evening to you folks. Chief Meteorologist Austin Bowling here in the Texoma Weather Lab Weather Center here in Lawton. We are watching the line of severe storms working its way right along Highway 283. That leading edge having just passed through Mangum, Blair, Altus, and now the Elmer area. Make sure you're sharing this with folks to let them know that we're out here tracking this as it continues to race off towards the east at about 45 miles per hour. Right now, these little notches we'll have to watch for any potential rotation in here. The strongest wind gust I've seen so far this evening has been about 61 miles per hour. So keeping track with Mr. Watson out there in Harmon County, said that there were some trees down as it made its way through Hollis and Gould, and he was going to check things out there in southern Harmon County. Not hearing much else at the moment. But if you have any reports, any questions at any time, please feel free to hop in here and ask any of those at any time. Again, like, share, pass this along, let folks know that we are out here keeping track of severe weather as it worked its way through. Now, the latest severe thunderstorm warning has come out here. It is for quarter size hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Let's get the latest on this. That is going to go until 7:30, and it does include Washita, Western Comanche, Southwestern Caddo, Jackson, Kiowa, Tilman, Greer, Beckham, and then down into Ford, Wilbarger, and Hardeman across North Texas. So again, 70-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail as it moves northeast at now 55 miles per hour. So we've picked up the pace, was moving at about 45. Now it's at 55 miles per hour. So I'm going to adjust the time frame here, and then I'm going to give you some of your hometowns here. So make sure you're listening out as I get this track drawn. And it's going to be a pretty long track here, and it's going to be a rough estimate about where that is. So let's see, and then push this off. No, I don't like that already. Let me see here. Try and draw this track a little bit better. All right, push this off towards the northeast. Let's get it over towards Duncan, Anadarko, Chickasha, Elgin, too. There's a lot of spots we got to cover here. So make sure you're listening out real quick. Got Hobart coming up here at around 7:29. Snyder coming up at around 7:16. Tipton in the next 10 minutes. Frederick at around 7:20. Same thing with Manitou. Chattanooga and the Cache area. Same thing with Mountain View, Gotebo. You're looking at about 7:35, 7:45. Carnegie about 7:50. That'd be the same for Lawton and Fort Sill and Geronimo. Clipping north of Walters at around 8. Same thing with Elgin and Apache closer to 8 o'clock. Heading towards Anadarko around 8:05. And that appears to be about 8:30 around Chickasha and Ninnekah. About 8:20 for Duncan. So again, that's a rough timeline of these storms racing northeast quickly around 55 miles per hour. So again, Lawton, if you're catching, is about 750. About 750 in Lawton. Is there rotation with this? Well, let's hop off of the reflectivity real quick. And let's see what we've got as far as any rotation. So I told you these notches we're going to have to keep a watch on. As you see, where we see the little bowing segment here, that's either going to be strong straight line winds, or it's going to be where we have rotation trying to take place in here. So very close to the Hedrick area. I'd be watching that right along and just a couple miles north of Highway 62 there in between Snyder and Altus. It's a broad area of rotation right now. It's not really focused just yet. But as I mentioned, these little notches along the line, and I'll go back here to the reflectivity, and you can see these bowing segments that we have right in here. That's where we're going to start to see some of that rotation trying to take place. So I'd be watching that one very carefully, watching out for the Tom Steed Lake. And as my good friend Chris Hayes here said, yeah, straight line winds probably be a problem later. Yeah, you see these bowing segments. That's where you have localized focus of some very strong winds. So these are warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds. Haven't seen those, at least at any of the observation sites just yet. Mangum hit 59 miles an hour not long ago. Hollis, about an hour ago, saw 61-mile-per-hour winds here. There's no reason to be scared. Again, not seeing anything significant here at the moment. We do continue to see, yes, severe storms working their way through. It is mainly a line of storms. And then again, when you start getting these lined up, you start seeing little tiny areas where there's some highly focused rotation. These are not going to be 2 and 3 mile wide systems coming through here. It would be more of an impact from strong straight line winds here and some hail, rather than much of the tornado threat. Still need to watch out for some isolated embedded circulation, some rotation that pops up along this line in these little notches, but I'm not seeing too much of those here at the moment. So we'll still want to keep a watch on this as we go through the next hour or so. If you're just joining in here, I still have that severe thunderstorm warning. It stretches for quite a ways right along Highway 283. So just from around Retrop down through Lone Wolf, all the way past, we're past Granite now. Getting into Kiowa County now, just a few miles west of Roosevelt. Friendship, Hedrick is about to see it. Tipton, you're here in the next 5 minutes. Coming heavy down through Elmer. But it is heading towards the Highway 81 corridor. Some pretty strong winds, maybe possible coming up in Hobart here momentarily as well. So a lot going on here. Still have that tornado watch going in effect until about midnight tonight. That's not to say that we're going to see severe storms in southwest Oklahoma all the way through midnight, but that is where the watch is through. And you can see more severe storms all the way up into Roger Mills County, several more, Payne County, all the way up into, let's say, that's Ponca City, Pawnee, Pawhuska. So if you've got any family up Weatherford, Watonga, we're seeing some more severe storms there, but the line stretches all the way down here towards Guthrie, Texas. Now I'm going to watch this area down here too. This area down here just outside of Vernon. You can see some localized stronger winds here. If we go and analyze this real quick. And this is getting into some of the windmills out here. So it gets kind of hard. It gets kind of corrupted just a little bit. So possibility of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds here coming up on 283 between the Oklahoma state line and Vernon. So heads up here, Frederick and Davidson. We want to watch out for this one here. Let me take that off and let me draw at least from the leading edge of this wind here. Let's push this in the direction of Davidson and Frederick. And let's get a timeline for these folks here. This is that highly localized area of strong winds. All right, wind and cache is not bad, but it is very dark. Yes, we're getting the anvil tops for a lot of the storms coming blown towards Comanche County, but we will start to see the winds picking up here soon. Leading edge of those winds on the doorstep of Tipton, Hedrick, Tomstead Lake right now. So it's going to get hard. We're looking right now mainly straight line winds, and this would be trending. This localized area of hail and wind is going to be heading towards southern Comanche County, northern Cotton County in the next hour or so. So still looking at a little while. Tracking this, again, localized area of stronger winds. If you're in southern Tilman County, Frederick about 721, Davidson around 718, and Hollister coming up around 730. You can see the area I'm looking at again, right here, these darker blues, lighter blues. That could be possibly some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. And we're starting to look lower and lower into the storm because the radar is down there in Frederick. So we're able to look a little bit lower into the storm, and that holds a little bit more truth when you're looking that far down into the storm. So again, 718 for Davidson, 721 for Frederick, and 730 for Hollister for those strong winds. Let me delete this. And I know there's several folks. Again, make sure you are sharing this with family and friends. Let them know that we're in here. We're tracking severe weather. No tornado warnings so far. That is definitely some good news. But as I mentioned, any of these individual little dips or bulges here is where we're going to see some of those stronger winds or possibility of rotation. I'm also looking out here for some larger hail. Again, this coming out of Vernon, coming towards Davidson. So if you know anybody here in Davidson, Highway 70, southern Tilman County, the warning is for $half size hail. I believe it's still $half size hail, quarter size hail, but there could still be larger hail here, maybe $half size or larger, trying to come across 283 and eventually towards Davidson. I think I said between 7:15 and around 7:20. So Davidson, 7:15, 7:20. I want you away from the windows just in case. Okay. Uh, Not able to pull and see. Just as soon as we get the latest update, that hail core has already dropped down. So that's some good news at the moment. Looks like a lot of that hail has dropped out of that. So that's better news for Davidson. But we still need to keep watch for these little kinks in the line. And that strong wind is rushing towards Frederick. So still looking at about 720 for Frederick. Let me draw a new track because I know there's a lot of folks hopping in here. Again, make sure you guys are sharing this with any of your groups, any of your friends, your family. Let them know we're out here tracking severe weather as it races across the area. Let me widen this out a little bit more. And we're going to try and track this whole line because I know there's a lot of you in Caddo, Comanche, Cotton, Tilman. Or not, Tilman is right there. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning, and that's probably going to be for the larger hail. And not only is it at least $half size hail, it is tennis ball size hail. So really need those folks. Southern Tilman County. Southern Tilman County. This does include Frederick and the Frederick Airport down towards Davidson. 60-mile-an-hour winds, but the bigger threat is 2.5-inch hail. Tilman County. Davidson, 7:15. Frederick, 7:20. Hollister, 7:30. Okay. Davidson, 7:15. Frederick, 7:20. Hollister, 7:30. That is your newest severe thunderstorm warning. And again, watching out for things like this right here. We have that little bit of rotation right in there. We'd be watching this heading off in this direction here towards southern Tilman County. Granfield, put that around 7:45 for you. Again, anybody down there in southern Tilman County, Granfield, along 70, 7:45. Want to watch out for that southern edge here, but Davidson needs to be inside and away from your windows right now. Large hail, upwards of tennis ball size, coming into southern Tilman County in the next 10 to 15 minutes. This will skirt very close, if not just south of the Frederick Airport, but I still want those folks in Frederick. I need you hunkered down just inside as this wind continues to come in too. Let me track the whole line here real quick, because again, I know I've got a lot of folks that are hopping in here. We'll talk more in detail about that hailstorm for southern Tilman County here in just a second. But let's get a new track, still moving at 55 miles per hour, off towards the east and northeast. So let's put this over towards Chickasha and Duncan. So Frederick, again, like 7:20, 7:30 is what we're looking at here. Chatty, 7:45. Snyder at 7:20. Cash, 7:40. Lawton, Fort Sill, Medicine Park, Geronimo, roughly 7:50, 7:55. Elgin, about 8 o'clock, same thing as Walters and Apache. Godebo, 7:45. Mountain View, 7:50. Carnegie, 7:56. Anadarko, about 10 after 8. Chickasha, closer to 8:30, along with Ninnekah. Rush Springs at 8:20, along with Marlow and Duncan. So again, you're over here in Grady and Stevens County, you're looking after 8. So you still have another hour to go for this line. Lawton, we have about another 40 minutes You're going to notice the rain and the wind come in first. Cash, you got about another 30 minutes. Okay. Just another 7 to 10 minutes coming up for Snyder, Frederick, and Davidson. All right. There is that hail that we're watching for right here coming out of Vernon. And it's heading towards Davidson. Okay. Let me do a new track for those of you here in southern Tilman County that are just joining us here. So come in here. It would just. Okay. Again, I'm tracking the hail core, not the leading edge. Okay. I'm tracking the hail core and the wind, not the leading edge. So Davidson coming up at 7:30. The Frederick Airport, that's going to be coming up here at around 7:40. Probably sooner than that, 7:35. Okay. And Hollister around 7:45, 7:50. Okay. That is your hailstorm right there. Let's go back to the velocity here and let's see what we've got. We still have those strong damaging winds coming into Frederick as well. So let's draw a new track for the wind. So we've got the hailstorm heading towards Davidson. We've got the wind heading towards Frederick. So kind of a double-edged sword here for the bulk of Tilman County right now. Okay, so 60 to 70 mile per hour winds coming into south sides of Tipton, a few miles south of Tipton, and into Frederick proper here in the next little while. So let's draw this, push this off towards Frederick. And that is, again, Frederick at about 7:30. So 60 to 70 mile per hour winds for Frederick at around 7:30. Davidson here coming up in the next 10, 15 minutes. You've got the hailstorm. Okay. So southern Tilman County needs to be on watch, inside, away from your windows. There's nothing tornadic at the moment. But very large hail and damaging winds that can easily do damage of a low-end tornado working their way into western and southern parts of Tilman County. Okay, let's erase this. Let's just see how this is trending right now. So those winds still the far southeastern tip of Jackson County right now, heading in the direction of Frederick. Okay, and you can see the leading edge of the wind elsewhere. Here's that leading edge of your line right in here. That's where you're going to notice the winds like smack you. And so it's already on the doorstep of Highway 81, coming through Hobart, coming into Snyder, going to be coming into Manitou here in the next few minutes, and then still looking 10, 15 minutes here in Frederick. All right, back to, that hail core is still looking pretty significant here. So again, just looking down the line, if this holds together, if it continues on this track, you're looking Granfield, Walters, and Temple. So make sure. So, Samantha, these storms have been moving at about 45 to 55 miles per hour off towards the east and northeast. So they've been going highway speed, maybe not turnpike speed, but they're going highway speed off towards the east. This southern tail end, I continue to watch. It's still got that little notch in it down here towards the bottom, just south of Vernon, approaching Oakley Union, and that would be heading towards Granfield and Duval if it holds together. So that's another area of concern that I want to watch out for. Again, velocity here, reflectivity. Okay, velocity. Getting kind of muddled here with the windmills. There is some broad rotation in there. And then let's see what we've got in here. There's some. Looks like there's a little bit of rotation. Let's see if it matches up. So right there in that southeastern tip of Jackson County, there might be some rotation we need to watch out for there too. That would be, again, let's put this back in here. So you can see this little area right here. That's wind that's not as fast, and then wind that's faster coming right in here. So I'd be watching out for this area right here. That is, how far have we got it? How many miles outside of Frederick are we? So that's about 10, 11 miles as the crow flies towards the west side of Frederick. So I'm watching that area here real quick. That's a little localized area of circulation that's trying to develop, become a little bit more focused in that line of storm. I told you those little kinks in the line are where we're going to have to watch for brief spin ups for these tornadoes. So again, about 11 miles west of Frederick. This is coming out of the far southeastern tip of Jackson County into western Tilman County. If anybody's familiar with these roads here, that is North 2120 Road and East 1820 Road in Tilman County. That's coming towards. Okay, so that's a area that needs to be watched. Little area of circulation that's popped up there within the last few scans. Okay, let's try and delete this off of here. Still have that hailstorm coming into Davidson here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Sabina, any hail with these storms on the way to Lawton? It looks like the main hailstorm is going to be impacting southern Tilman County. So Davidson, Granfield along US 70. And if it holds on, that hailstorm would be heading in the direction of Duval, Walters, and Temple. That's not to say that there won't be any hail elsewhere along the line, but this is definitely the largest hail core right now coming out of northern Wilbarger County and down into southern Tilman County. So again, Davidson, Granfield, Duval, and probably about an hour down the line, Walters and Temple. You need to watch out for the possibility of the hailstorm working its way in through there. Let me back this out a little bit. If you're just joining here, make sure you're sharing this with folks. Heavy rain continuing to come down in Hobart on the doorstep of Snyder. Okay, you can see the little wiggles in the line here. Little wiggles in the line right there. Little wiggles in the line. We just got to watch these real carefully and see what comes of these. Okay. So let me draw a new line. We continue to get several folks that hop in here and want to check where things are. So there's that. Come all the way down here. It's still moving at about 55 miles per hour. Okay. Updated times here real quick. So still about 7:30 for Frederick. 7:40, 7:45 for Chattanooga, Cache, Fort Sill, Medicine Park around 7:50, 7:55 in Lawton. So just a little bit before 8. Geronimo also at around 8. Same thing in Walters. Temple 8:15. Okay. Comanche, Duncan, Marlow at about 8:25. Rush 2. Looking up at Elgin about 8 o'clock. Apache for you about 8 o'clock as well. Anadarko 8:15. Chickasha 8:30. Blanchard, if you know anybody up there, that's about 8:50. Carnegie 8 o'clock. Mountain View, Gotebo here at about 7:55. So coming up actually sooner than that, I believe. Okay, so about 7:40 for Cache and about 7:55 for Lawton. And just have to keep watching these little areas of circulation. So back in here, there's our wall of wind. It's trying to come in on the south side of Tipton now too. Okay, Tipton, need you inside just in case the winds are going to start getting stronger here. Have that leading edge of the winds coming through here in the next handful of minutes. Couple minutes for Tipton, probably the next handful of minutes for Frederick and Manitou, upwards of 60, possibly 70 mile per hour winds with that storm. Again, we're looking really low from the radar, and the leading edge of those winds, let's see here. We're about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles out of town. So 5 miles to your west, Frederick, it's coming. Probably a decent shelf cloud. Would love to have camera down there looking at this right now, seeing that storm coming into town as strong as it is. It's probably a pretty decent shelf cloud with this working its way into downtown Frederick at this moment. If you've got any pictures, you can safely share them. Please do so. You want to message me, you want to put them in the chat or one of the posts I've already made over on the Meteorologist Austin Bowling Facebook page. Please do. I'll try and get those up the best that I can and try and keep you updated as these storms work their way into the region. Again, we're still working on getting those cameras out there so that folks can have a better idea of what is taking place across southwest Oklahoma. Nothing tornadic at the moment. That is some good news, but still some localized areas of increased winds. Frederick, again, possibility of 60, maybe 70-mile-per-hour winds trying to come into town. These little pixels right here are what you're looking at. So that still shows 60. So possibility of 60-mile-per-hour winds at least coming into Frederick here in the next several minutes. Tipton, south side of town. We need to be watching out for that too. Okay, let's go back. Check the hail core. Okay, there's our big hail core right there heading towards Davidson. Still looking at tennis ball size hail possibly coming into Davidson here. And you can see there it is. There's the hail core right there. And it's just about 9 miles southwest of Davidson. So extreme southwestern Tilman County. Hang on here. It's going to be crossing the Red River, and there's going to be some hail with it. Possibility, tennis ball size hail coming into downtown Davidson. I don't know if anybody is following me down there. Emergency managers obviously looking out. Police department down there in Frederick. Just keep a watch on all this stuff. So the wind is going towards south side of Tipton and coming into west side of Frederick. The hailstorm is coming into Davidson. So again, if you're joining us from Duncan, Marlow, Chickasha, still looking at this stuff coming at your way here within the next hour. So the bottom of the next hour, 8:30, is the leading edge here. We're still looking at just shy of 8 here in Lawton, closer to about 8:40 or 7:45 in places like Cache and Chatty. Okay, closer to 8 around Apache, Elgin, Fletcher, Sterling. Okay, all those locations under the threat. Brent, I'm not really looking at too much in the way of rotation right now. There's some little times where it squiggles just a little bit, but we're not seeing anything rotating at the moment. We've got this large hailstorm coming into southern Wilbarger County coming into southern Tilman County out of northern Wilbarger County. Let me get that right. Okay. That's just another five or so minutes coming into Davidson here. So everybody needs to be inside and away from windows here. If you've got anybody in Davidson, taking a chance there. Anybody down there in southern Tilman County, send me your photos. Stay inside. Make sure you're safe. Okay. Stay away from the windows as this comes in. This is going to be a pretty beefy storm heading into US 70, Highway 183 around Davidson. You going to bed? Good night, JoJo. Good night. Let's see. Diamond, Elgin, Fletcher, Cyril. Still thinking about 8 o'clock here. Okay. The legend himself, Mike Williams. Thank you for hopping in here. Make sure you guys are following him as well as this stuff continues to race off towards the north and east. And he's got all 77 counties captured here, folks. Good to partner with him during this severe weather. And make sure you're following meteorologist Todd Rasmussen as well as this continues to head over into the I-35 corridor and southeastern Oklahoma. I want to make sure we're keeping everybody covered as these storms work their way through. Looks like we've got an update now. Let me get off of my distance tool. That would help. Let's come up here. So the new warning goes for another 50 minutes. So we're going past 8 o'clock here. So the northern part of the line still looking at 60 and quarters here. Still looking at 60 and quarters for the main edge of the line. Still talking about Cash, Carnegie here at about 7:45. So about another 15, 20 minutes. Lawton for you will probably be putting a new warning at that time, but probably closer to 8 o'clock for Lawton and Apache. Let's take a look at that velocity real quick. Again, still have that wall of wind 60 plus, just a few miles outside of Frederick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 miles west of Frederick. That wind is coming in hard. So again, want to make sure you are inside and away from your windows as well. West side of Frederick, the community of Burt, even all the way up into, let's say, just south of Manitou. Want to make sure you folks are inside and away from your windows. It's going to ride right along Highway 5, and it should stay just north of Hollister. Okay, there's the wind continuing to pick up just a little bit more right in here. Wish I could switch back and forth between those. Let's just go side by side here. Okay, and let me change this. Since we're trying to do both of these at the same time, let's just look in this area at the same time. So right in here, that matchup. So we're right in here. Okay, so that's those winds heading just a few miles to the west of Frederick, heading straight into town. Zeus, the Hot Wheels Silverado. That's a name. No, do you think Lawton will get hit with high winds? Yeah, we're still looking at the possibility of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds coming into town here. We'll see where this blob of wind goes out of Frederick. I'd be looking at Chatty and Faxon after that with this highly localized area of wind. And you can see that wind is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles wide. So this is going to come into the west side and northern side of Frederick, maybe clipping downtown with some pretty strong winds. We'll see where it goes past that. Okay, zoom out a little bit more. There's that hailstorm again. And what you're noticing here as we break down the radar, your radar's up here at the green dot. All the green indicates wind that's rushing towards, and red indicates everything that's rushing away. And that's right here, right where that hail core is. You've got heavy precipitation being dragged down. So you've got some strong downburst winds that are going to be coming through, smacking parts of Davidson as well. So not only are you going to get the maybe possibly microburst winds here, but you could be seeing that damaging tennis ball size hail coming into town as well. So Davidson still needs to be hunkered down. Still need to be hunkered down here in the Davidson area. Again, just looking at the radar, we've got precipitation loading, dragging down the winds, heavy precipitation coming down here. So really seeing that showing up here. Let's see if we can look at the correlation coefficient here and see just how much. Yeah, you're seeing even in that same area, you can see hailstones of differing size right here coming into far southwestern Tilman County. So there is that hail core showing up on the radar coming into Davidson. If I've got any of the emergency managers there, Frederick, Tilman County, definitely want to watch down here just in case. I'd love to hear if you guys have any damage reports there in Frederick or Davidson from the hail and the wind coming into town. So southern half of Tilman County is going to get hit here pretty hard. Hail and wind, nothing tornadic. This is all hail and wind at the moment. This is all hail and wind at the moment. Let's go back to something that's a little bit easier to stomach. Okay. Still looking at tennis ball hail and 60 mile per hour winds with that storm. Let's come back up here, widen things out. You can see the leading edge. This is Highway. I knew it better than that. There's Cooperton, Highway 54. We've got some localized areas of stronger winds up here aloft. Again, still possibility of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. Still watching these little wiggles in the line, okay? These little wiggles here we have to watch out for very brief areas of rotation that could pop up very quickly, okay? So it's the tornado threat in the beginning of the line of storms, right? Yeah. So now that we've transitioned to more of a line of storms, the tornado threat is going to be right at the leading edge if we see it happen. Okay. Once you get that leading edge past, it significantly drops that tornado threat. Okay. So once the leading edge has passed you, that tornado threat has ended for the day. Okay. So that's definitely good news for the western half of area. My Silverado won't fit in the garage. So I'm guessing it's going to get abused by the hail. Let's just, I'm not sure exactly where you are, but let's hope that it does stay away. If you're in Lawton, we're going to hope it stays south of us. Okay. Mary Elizabeth, are you on other media than Facebook? I am streaming also to YouTube right now too. If you search Texoma Weather Lab, I am there too. So if you're on YouTube, Texoma Weather Lab on YouTube is where I'm streaming to there. So I'm streaming both through Facebook and YouTube. Okay. Facebook and YouTube is where you can find me. Let's go back down to Frederick again. We should be seeing those winds coming into town here. So there it is, just a couple miles. We're getting close to the Frederick Golf Course here, west side of town. Seeing those winds coming in here. It's going to pick up here in just a second in Frederick. You probably noticed the winds shifted, but right there in Frederick is where we see those strongest winds right here, just a mile west of town. Just a mile west of town. I've got those winds coming right in. It's going right into town as we speak. And we're getting a little too close to the radar to pull it, but it's coming right into downtown Frederick with 60 plus mile an hour winds. So that could do damage to tree limbs. Again, make sure you're inside and away from your windows there in Frederick. It's been coming for a while. You've had enough lead time here to get you away. All right, down here in Davidson, how are we looking here? Well, we're starting to see that pink core. It's trying to diminish, which does tell me that we're starting to lose some of that hail coming in here, but it is still approaching Davidson with the threat of tennis ball size hail. Matthew, southeastern part of Comanche County. We'd be looking probably closer to 8:15 there, man. 8:15. If you're around Hewlin, Letitia, okay, about 8:15 is what I'm looking for right now. I'll do a new track here in just a second. So still looking 60 plus mile an hour winds coming right through Frederick. Still have the possibility of tennis ball hail coming into Davidson at the moment. Make sure you are sharing this with friends and family. So, Brianna, do you think it'll have a higher tornado risk when it gets to Anadarko? Let's see what we've got going up here in Caddo County. Again, the area I'd want to watch out for here, this little bulging segment right here. That is some localized stronger winds. And again, we would watch out for some potential rotation that takes place there. And that is heading in the direction of Carnegie and Fort Cobb Lake. So, yeah, here in the next little while, we want to watch out for this storm. Let me see. We still have the same 55 mile an hour forward pace. Okay. Still have the same 55 mile an hour forward pace here. Let me put a new track for this northern part of the line because I know we do have more folks that continue to hop in here, Brianna. So I'm going to give you a real quick track. Oh. It doesn't want to do it in this double. Okay, let's take it off there then. Okay. All right. I'm going to push it this way, still at 55 miles per hour. So we're looking, again, specifically this part of the line, Carnegie at about 752 and Anadarko at about 810. So 752 in Carnegie, 810, 812 for Anadarko Gracemont. Fort Cobb's in here somewhere, 8 o'clock. All right. Fort Cobb Lake at around 8 o'clock. Let's see. Sent the kids to bed early in Duncan in case we have to spend the night in the cellar. Not a bad idea. One of ours is already going to bed. Jennifer, Geronimo about 8:15 as well. 8:15. Yes. What's it looking like for Lawton by Bishop Public Schools? Still looking at possibilities, straight line winds here, Lexi, 60 plus, about 8 o'clock. So here in the next 20 minutes, we could see this line coming through here. The next 20 minutes. So Fort Sill is about 8:05. Cache is about 8 o'clock. So still watching this tail end of the line down here. It kind of breaks up a little bit here between Snyder and Frederick, but it looks like it's trying to fill back in. So we'll have to watch that and see what that does as it continues to draw into an untapped, unstable environment. The Ganks still looking about 8:05, my friends. 8:05. 8:05. You think Newcastle will have a high tornado risk with that line? The tornado risk is still going to be there. Again, highly localized, brief spin ups along this now that it's a line and not isolated cells. That threat has come down lower. It's not zero, but it is a lower threat. Okay, so little kinks along the line are what we have to watch. Kathy, once the leading edge passes, will the wind calm down? It'll be a little windy for like the first 20 minutes as it passes through, but yeah, it will drop down significantly at that time. Okay. Sky's got a blue hue to it. You seeing that teal? Yeah, I storm chased out in Altus a long time ago, and seeing that teal sky, that'll make you tuck tail real quick. That is a scary sight when you see that happen. All right, let's make sure. Come back down here to Frederick again and Davidson. That hail core is coming right back up again, coming into Davidson. It's just about 1, 2, 3 miles out of town. It's heading into town. You probably are noticing the hail falling right now. Let's see here. Where's my correlation coefficient? And it's still kind of scrambled right in here where that hail core is matching up. Still some hail falling out of this. And hydrometeor classification, still got some very large hail. Yeah, very large hail coming into town. So still that tennis ball hail. KT, again, hail is down here in Davidson. The rest of the line is wind and much smaller hail. Okay. Samantha, Rush Springs. Rush, I'm looking at about 8:15, probably closer to 8:30. Okay. About 8:30. Karina, probably closer to 8:30 or 8:45 for this line. I hadn't gotten up to Oklahoma City yet. Let me come back up here. Let's see. Let's delete that and draw a new line for it. Let's push it in that direction. And Oklahoma City, Karina, it's going to be about 9 o'clock. Just before you ask there, Kayla in Blanchard, it's about 8:50 for you. Okay. 8:50 for you. Faxon, looks like it's going to be about 8 o'clock. Tammy, about 8 o'clock for Faxon. KT, message those to me or put them in one of the posts I made earlier tonight. I'll try and move that over here. Yeah, if it's that good teal, yeah, let me definitely see that. I'll get that shared here. Denise Indiahoma, 8 o'clock. Folks here in Lawton, still looking at about 8 to 8:10. Okay. If you're joining from Lawton, about 8 to 8:10. Kind of winds. Still looking, Elizabeth, at about 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. Let me go into the strongest winds we've seen so far. Hobart's been to 54. Tipton's been to 50. Okay, so 50 plus looks likely with this line. Okay, 50 plus looks likely with this line. Trying to see if we did get any of those stronger winds to translate down at Frederick. Didn't really see anything stronger than about 40, and that 40 was before the storm. So if anybody down there in Frederick has any idea of what happened down there, I'd appreciate that. It's starting in Hollister now. Yep. Let's see those winds here in Hollister. So there's the leading edge of the winds. Kevin, yep. It's just a mile or two outside of town coming in. May I request no hail, please? I'm not taking requests at this time, Kyle. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to get what you get. I wish we didn't have to. We're shuffling cars around too here, trying to make sure everything is taken care of. I can handle 50 to 60. I just want that 80 to set off the sirens. And that's the thing too. Different towns are going to set it off for different thresholds too. 65, 70, 80. So again, right now we're staying under that threshold at the moment. Let me get back off of the reflectivity. There's that hail core that continues to come down here. Coming into Davidson. It seems like it's been trying to come into Davidson for quite at least the last 20 to 30 minutes. We've been tracking this thing for a while. Still looking there about the next few minutes. Tony, how about Edmond? Let's see. Minty, what have we got? Edmond's about 920. Edmond's about 920. It might be a little bit sooner than that because that line has moved just a little bit. So probably about 9:10, 9:15 is about when I would expect that up there in the Edmond area. So it's moving pretty quick. It's moving about 55 miles an hour up the highway. Hearing thunder in Lawton. I've got my noise-proof headphones on here, so I'm not really. If it hasn't shook the house yet, then I haven't noticed that yet. How's Temple looking with that storm near Davidson? Let's track the forward movement of that storm. We still have some little kinks in here right along Highway 287. I got to watch this area right in here. You can see where we have the winds going towards, the winds going away. There's your rotation right in here between Oklahoma Union and Harold. So we got rotation in Carnegie. Yeah, and we're looking kind of far away from the radar at this point. So there's some winds heading. Yep, there's heading fast away and then heading back towards a little bit. So there's some broad rotation here. Selena, it's probably about 8:15. Anita, west of Frederick, calm winds again and rain. Thank you for the updates. How bad did it get? Anything knock off? Sideways rain? Any damage? Flickering power? Anything like that you can add there? Anita? Janice, I meant to get back to yours. I saw the rotation first. Let me go back down here. Too far. Okay. Back to reflectivity. There's that beefy hailstorm coming into downtown Davidson. Again, just not liking the looks of that right now. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour. It's creeping along here. Let's change this to a different type. Let's go more of the cellular path. That's 25 miles per hour. Again, it's creeping along down there. That hail core is not moving fast. So let's push it. And again, it's still got a long way to go at 20 miles per hour. Janice. It's still got to get to Granfield, and that's about 8:40. That's another hour. So, and a lot can change here. If you push that further out towards Temple, we're probably looking closer to 9:15 right now with this southern edge that continues to drag. And this spot right here continues to worry me right here. This spot right here continues to worry me outside of Harold, Texas. 240, that takes you into downtown Burke-Burnett. I'd definitely be watching out here in Granfield, Deval, Randelette, Big Pasture area. Next little while, just after closer to 8:30, I really want to watch out for this tail end of this storm down here. It's got some rotation on it. Still has that very large hail. So southeastern Tilman County, southwestern Cotton County. Want to watch out for that. Jessica, is the hail core going to pass over Chatty or stay south? Right now, I feel like as far north as it's going to get is about Loveland or Walters on that current track. At least that's what I see now, Jessica. So I think it's going to be riding right along 70. It's going to come up towards Loveland and get up towards Highway 5, but I don't think it's going to go that far north. But if it changes, I will let you know. But on its current track, where it is, how slow it's moving, it's probably going to stay south. We're hearing a lot of thunder there in Chattanooga. I realize that I've had the lightning off of here. Let me turn my lightning detection on. And yeah, you're starting to see some of those lightning strikes way out in advance here. There's the one probably that Amy was hearing just several miles southwest of town. Right there. Bill, it's only a couple of years, but yep, still here. Still trying to keep the folks that have supported me supported. No, it's not my full time, but trying to do my best to, in between the full time, making sure everybody stays safe. I know we see a lot of turnover around here. I want to give you somebody that you know and you remember. Calming voice to continue to give you those updates. Let's see here. Toby Cable is sending me a photo. Let's see. Yeah, more of those teal skies. So you can see right there some of those teal skies a little bit coming through. Let's see. Anita's checked in. Lost some small limbs from trees. Nothing bad. We had no power. We had no power flickering. Continue the other line. We are not in town, so I don't know about the town of Frederick. Okay. All right. Good enough. Glad everybody's okay. Gonna assume the same is there for the rest of Frederick, but still my main concern right now, it's Davidson. I continue to worry about Davidson. The hail core is still here right along the Red River. Nobody should be traveling between Frederick and Oakland Union with this hail core continuing to come down. Is large hail expected in Lawton? I'm still thinking up to about quarter size is still possible, but the really large hail is just down right along the Red River right now, Chris. So Davidson, Granfield, Deval, maybe Loveland, maybe as far north as Walters and Temple. That's something I'm going to watch out for. There is the new southern edge of this severe storm. That's going to bring it into now Granfield. 70 mile per hour winds and quarter size hail for this, and still the possibility of a tornado here. They're not showing tornado possible here, although it still shows the signature that concerns me there. So I'll track that here. Jacob, anything to worry about in Lawton? Still looking at that line coming into town here just before 8 o'clock. And the line continues to it hasn't really filled in all that much. I mean, Wind gusts up to 50. I mean, are looking about as much as we'll see right now. I mean, it's really falling apart. It's having a hard time. The strongest storm is still going to be down here, southern Tilman County, the bulk of Cotton County, maybe the southern part of Comanche County. But that's really it right now. Oh, I got somebody else from Frederick. Amanda saying rain is slowing down in Frederick. It just calmed down. How bad did the winds get? Had somebody else, Nita, saying outside of town, there wasn't really any power flickering. Had some branches down, but was it any different there, Amanda, in town? Do you notice anything different in town? Trying to work with the folks down at United Turf and Ag. Hopefully, we can get a good view down there in Frederick after a while. Hearing some rumblings here. Deanna still looking straight line winds, probably closer to 830 right now. And this southern edge might be the one that has to try and track that way. We're still watching. That hailstorm has come back down again, but it looks like it dropped that hail right over or right near Davidson. You got anybody that's in Davidson? Know anybody that's in Davidson, folks? Low winds in Frederick, a lot of rain and lightning. Okay. Thank you, Bill. If there was anything worse, I hope somebody would have told me until I get that camera down there in Frederick. Let's see. So you're still seeing the strong winds. These are downburst winds right here. So it would help if I had this on the view rather than drawing it. There you go. Don't want to see my face. You want to see the radar. There you go. There are the downbursting winds right there. Strong winds coming right through Davidson. And that's the heavy rain, the hail coming right down over Davidson at this second. High winds for a short time. It was when it was first hitting, it had to guess about 30 miles per hour. Okay. All right. Not as bad as I thought. It definitely looked a lot worse, Amanda, when it was coming into town. So I'm glad it didn't turn out to be anything worse than that, but it definitely looked like it could have been pretty nasty. So I'm glad everything is okay down there in Tilman County. But if anybody knows anybody around Davidson, really want to know what's happening down there around Davidson. That's been a pretty gnarly storm for much of the day, much of the evening here with that hail and those high winds coming through. Let me go back here, take that off. Still have some strong winds coming through Carnegie. Again, this is looking way up here in the air. This isn't quite true, but still 50 mile per hour winds, I think, coming through here. Coming into Carnegie, heading up towards Fort Cobb. Sorry, Elizabeth, I'm going back through here and seeing what I could. What was the question that was being asked? Yeah, the stuff around Lawton is not looking as impressive right now. You can see how broken and chunked up it is right now. It's kind of like the rain and the storms. Okay, would you say it was weakening? What's the question? Thank you for keeping me honest here, folks. It's just constant. It's just scrolling by pretty quick when we've got about 170 folks in here. Okay, so yeah, it is kind of weakening a bit coming into Comanche County. Let me put this back into motion. We'll see some breezy winds. We'll see some locally heavy rain, kind of like the storm last night, although that was pretty windy as it came through last night. So we'll have to watch out for that one. The hailstorm still there, hugging US 70 in southern Tilman County. So if you're talking about any larger impacts right now, that is southern Tilman County into southeastern Tilman County. So Granfield, you're next in line. Want to watch out for that one just in case. Checking these wind gusts here. Oh, wow. It gusted to 67 in Weatherford not long ago. So if you've got any friends or family up here in Oklahoma City heading towards the northern part of the metro, that's a history of storms with 70-mile-per-hour winds, 65 to 70-mile-per-hour winds that have come through there. So Weatherford gusted to about 70 miles per hour not long ago. We look at this and shows you a little bit sharper line here coming into Oklahoma City. So they've drawn a new warning here specifically for southeastern Tilman, southwestern Comanche County, so just a few miles south of Cache, and then down towards Chatty-Faxon and Devol. Let's see what this new warning is. Lime-size hail. You guys were making fun of me for egg-size hail, but lime-size hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Tornado is possible with this. Okay, so they've noted some rotation. All of these storms with the larger hail have rotation. It's called a supercell. It's what helps sustain the updraft that helps to keep this hail aloft. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. And anytime if that area of rotation focuses, centralizes, kind of tightens up a little bit, then you could see that tornado. So that new severe thunderstorm warning is now it's moving east at 30, 2-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Okay, 2-inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds, moving east at 30. East at 30. So let's put a new track here on this. We're going to put it from that hail core. And again, it's going to be a while before it ever gets to Walters or Temple, but I want to get those folks captured in this. Kiana, I'll answer your question here in just a second as far as Latonka goes, but Granfield at around 8:45. So we have another 45 minutes before it even gets to Granfield. And then you're looking at 9:30, 9:45 for Walters. And okay, there we go. We've gone ahead and issued a tornado warning for this. Okay, so I thought they were going with the severe warning for it. If you are just now catching this, this is a tornado warning now for southern and southeastern Tilman County. New tornado warning, southern and southeastern Tilman County. Let's go back to the velocity here. Let's see the area we're talking about here. And we're going to push this up. Let me delete this. This is going more northeast than I have my track drawn out for. Let's put this into motion. And there is that area of circulation that tightened up here. Then you can remember, about 20 minutes ago, I was tracking that area between Oakland Union and Herald. So let's stop here. And let's put this off. Let me make sure I got how fast is this moving? Golf ball size hail. It's moving northeast at 25. Northeast at 25. Delete it again. Make sure I've got my track 25. Okay. Again, if you're joining us, this is not for Comanche County or Cotton County. This is southern and southeastern Tilman County. Southern and southeastern Tilman County. It's moving slowly northeast at 25 miles per hour. But the rotation is increasing in this location. It is still in Texas. Okay. It is still in Texas. And again, if you're just joining us here, this is southern Tilman County. This is Wichita County right down here. And where you see Oakland Union is Wilbarger County, Texas. So I push this northeast. So again, Loveland, Granfield, Hollister, this is you included. And it's trending towards western and northwestern Cotton County. So on this current path, Loveland at about 8:45, Granfield, I'm going to say at about 850 if it flattens out and gets stronger here. And I will note that there are two areas of circulation in here. There's going to be two areas of circulation. There's one that's right about here. There's going to be one that's right about here. Again, these little notches in the line are what we're having to track. So this is a new tornado warning for southern Tilman County, and it goes until it's another 45 minutes. So this goes until 8:45. 8:45, southern Tilman County. This does not include Davidson. This does not include Frederick. But Hollister, Loveland, and Granfield, you are in this tornado warning. Still some large hail with this, 2-inch hail, and circulation coming up out of Texas. Let's see. Let's check there's a lot of stuff on the screen. I apologize, folks. Correlation coefficient, see if there's anything that matches up just yet with our area of circulation. Not at the second, but definitely some rotation there that continues to get stronger. Noticed 5 miles southeast of Davidson was where they noticed this. Okay, so Davidson here, 4, 5. So they're looking right here in this region. Okay, looking right there in that region. But there's a few different spots. Right here, there's some rotation. Right here where they have the warning is rotation. Right here is rotation. So any of those three spots could be pretty strong. Could strengthen. And so those are the three areas of rotation. They are still fully in Texas right now. But again, if you are in Loveland, if there's anybody around Taylor Gin Corner or Taylor Corner Gin, let me swap those. And it's just to the east of Elliott. Just to the east and northeast of Elliott. Okay, going to watch that closely there. That is trending up into eastern and southeastern Tilman County. You can see these are very brief. Even as they've just issued it, it looks completely different. Even as they just issued it, it looks completely different. But there is one area of circulation right here. That one's clear as day right there. There's another one right here. And again, another one right here. Very brief, weak. Again, these are maybe on the order of just 50 to 100 yards, maybe not even that wide. Again, just very small areas of circulation that are going to pop up here along this leading edge. Again, these are still fully in Texas, but about to move in to southern Tilman County. Let's see if anybody knows the farm to market roads here, the county roads. See north 2280, north 2270. What's the east-west road here? Doesn't want to show me. Okay. Is there a new tornado warning here somewhere? Nope, just still. Oh, that one was down there in Haskell County, Texas. Okay. Let me go back to the reflectivity here because there's a lot of folks that are checking. That line here in Comanche County just continues to break apart, which you're not going to hear me complain about that. That's definitely some good news. Still some heavy rain, some lightning, but it is chunking up over the refuge. You can see some heavier rain right around Medicine Park, Ellsworth, starting to inch into Elgin. Some stronger storms here outside of Cooperton, coming up into where 19 bends hard, or 58 turns hard up towards the north. Okay, up there in Caddo County. All right, still. Okay. Let's see. try and get my. Okay. So again, if you're just joining here, this is a tornado warning until 8:45 for southern Tilman County. Not really seeing anything strong elsewhere. There's hail and wind with this. Few areas where potential circulation is there. Now into far, far, far northwestern Wichita County and just to the east of the Elliott community in northeastern Wilbarger County. Again, this is a tornado warning. Does include Hollister, Loveland, and Granfield. Does not include Davidson, nor does it include Frederick. If you're joining from Lawton, Walters, Duncan, Waurika, Chickasha even, this is not for you. Again, things continue to weaken over Comanche County. It's stronger. Gustier winds have been up into the northern part of this, up around Weatherford, northern Caddo County, upwards of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds there. But it's this tail end of the line that we have to watch out for. It's been a little notch in the winds that has really caused this to be a little bit stronger. Okay, let's stop it for a second. Let's see. Still see some rotation right in here. Then there's some rotation right in here. So 2 areas of rotation coming down right in there, just a few miles south of 70. And I don't know my it's 54 that comes straight south out of Hollister. Okay. So just a few miles south of 70 and 54 there in Tilman County is where we see another area of rotation. Back out again. You can see where this is in relation to Lawton. This is still well to the south. This is only moving at 25 miles per hour, folks. So this is not like racing up on Lawton here. Okay, we're not looking at that at the moment. This is the tail end storm, but we still have some large hail, some damaging winds. They're going to be coming up into Granfield, Duval, Randolette. See this chunk of the storm still moving east at 30. So let me do a new track on this bottom part of the line. Is there an update on this? Radar indicated still. It's 5 miles southeast of Davidson. They haven't updated anything on this yet. Okay, I'm just going to try and push this whole thing towards the east at 30. Just to let those folks in Cotton County know what's coming down the pike. Because this whole cluster is heading that way. Even if you don't see the tornadic circulation, we want to still track this whole thing. Okay. So there's that. Let's see which way it's going. So this is trending. Let's push it over towards Duncan, Comanche, Waurika too. Let me try and give as far of a heads up here as I can. Again, at this track, again, this is not the area of circulation. This is the overall cluster. Okay. Randolette is going to be coming up here at 8:43. Duval 8:30. Granfield 8:23. Walters 9:08. Temple 9:11. Hastings 9:24. Waurika at 9:37. Comanche 9:45 and Duncan at about 9:55. Empire at about 9:40. That is, if this storm continues to stay on this track. Amy, is this headed for Chattanooga? It looks like the individual circulation is drifting that way, but the whole cell seems like it's jogging more towards the east. I'd still be ready to move at any moment here for Chatty and Faxon, but this is still moving pretty slowly. I still want the folks in Chatty and Faxon to keep a watch on this. but it is appearing to move more into western Cotton County than it is into um, southern Comanche County. Okay. Sorry, folks. I keep trying to analyze stuff and I keep seeing the comments fly by. So if if your answer doesn't pop up here, I'm going to try and go back through the best I can and uh, answer some of these. Again, if anybody's worrying about this coming to Lawton, I don't believe it's trending in this way. At most, it would be trending towards uh, Temple and Walters. And down the line, if it holds together in this shape, it would be Comanche and Duncan closer to 10 o'clock. That would have to watch out for this. Again, it's moving at about 25 to 30 miles per hour at this rate. Vicky, right now, it is not warned for Walters and Temple. It is still, the whole storm is trending in that way. Again, nothing official as far as a tornado warning for Walters, but it is, the whole cell is kind of trending that way. Yes. How long until Cookie Town? It looks to be a direct path of rotation. Cookie Town does, okay, 850. I was like, does it pop up? Yes, there we go. Adam, 850. 850. 850. Granfield still looking at 825. Thunder is rumbling in Geronimo. Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Golf ball size hail still haven't changed the location of it. Let's go back to the velocity data again. Not as well organized, but you still have some toward and you still have some away in here. Okay. It's not focused, but it is still some broad rotation there. It's a few miles south of Hollister, or several miles south of Hollister, I should say that. That's about 7 miles south of Hollister. And then drifting towards Loveland. It's about 5 miles. About 5 miles there. And Chatty, again, it's moving at 25 miles per hour. I did it wrong. Okay, so we're still about 17 miles for Chattanooga if it heads that way, but I think it's heading more south of Chatty. I think it's going to stay more south of Chatty. Michael, I said this might be trending towards Walters. The overall cell, I believe, is heading towards Walters, but the individual circulation was heading a little bit more northeast. I know that's confusing as all get out, but the cell is moving east. The circulation is moving northeast. Don, do you think it might split? Not really. I think it'll still hold together. So there's where we're looking at here. Let me take the ruler off here. So there is that inflow notch right here. You can see it's about to get pinched off real quick. And you can see they've condensed down the tornado warning to still include Loveland and just west of Granfield. That would be the airport on the west side of Granfield. And got Kevin saying just rain and some wind in Hollister. Yeah, and this is going to stay just southeast of you. There, Kevin, thank you for checking in and keeping me on top of everything that's heading down there in the heart of Tilman County. Thank you to all my Tilman County folks. Thank you guys. I appreciate it that it's been passed along. That we're keeping a watch. Anybody hear anything out of Davidson? Those Tilman County folks, and you guys know anybody down in in not Hollister. We know somebody in Hollister now, but anybody in Davidson, anybody in Davidson that had anything pop up there? I'd still like to know what may have happened in and around, why do I keep saying Hollister? Davidson. Okay. Keep going back to the reflectivity, the velocity. So there's another area of circulation. Here's some green towards, here's some red away. There's a little bit of circulation right in here. So that's just a few miles, literally 3 or 4 miles south of Loveland. So 1, 2, about 3 miles south of Loveland is what we're seeing there. Story, what about Walters? Again, I think the cell is coming that way, but the circulation is kind of going more northeast. Let me see. Reflectivity again. That again, the main inflow has kind of gotten choked off here. And we're going to get a new track, and it looks like they're going to replace or allow that tornado warning to drop here. And they're going to track this southern half of the line. So this does include, listen for your town, Granfield, Chattanooga, Faxon, Cookietown, Devol, Granfield, Big Pasture, Randolette, Temple, Walters, Hewlin, Geronimo, Lawton, including the airport, south side, and the east side, and all the way up towards, I believe, almost near Sterling. Okay, let's see what this new warning is for. 70-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. Again, it is this Boeing segment here that is going to end up being the straight line wind producer. So south side of Lawton, coming up 36. Faxon, Geronimo, Walters, 44 between Lawton and Wichita Falls. It's going to be some strong wind coming right across the interstate. Okay, let's check and see the new track on this. This is moving northeast at 40. Let's get a new track on this for the folks that are joining us. Again, 265 of you out there. Keep sharing. Let folks know this is a new option. This is the option for keeping track of severe weather here in Southwest Oklahoma with a name you know. Okay. $40 miles per hour. I'm going to change this to more of a, linear storm path. There. This might not be perfect, but it does at least capture it. Let's get the south side of Lawton in here too. Airport, at least. All right, Chattanooga, 838. This is for the line of storms. Faxon, 843. Devol, 826. Randolette, 837. Walters, 851. Geronimo at 853. Temple, 855. Hastings, 906. The airport, does it pop up? No, it does not. I'm going to say about 9 o'clock for southern and eastern Lawton. About 9 o'clock. Yes, Michelle. 9 o'clock. We're going to catch the downtown, south, and east is going to catch this one. Okay, so might see a bit more of it too. It looks like this northern edge is going to try and spread north here. Down the line, Comanche, 920. Duncan, 925. Marlow, 933. Central, 923. Hewlin's in here somewhere. There we go. 906. Empire, 917. Comanche, 921. I think I already said that. Let's go back in here. Let me delete this off real quick. Check any of our wind gusts. 45 to 50 is the top wind that I've seen so far. Should mostly be downtown and east for Lawton, but this northern edge is trying to spread north on me. It is. So there is that little area right in here. So you're seeing the winds coming towards. You still have winds coming away. So Jared, just about a mile or two southeast of Loveland is still our area circulation. There's one that's right here, right along 70, just a couple miles west of the Granfield Airport. Some stronger winds in here too. Let's see, showing about 60, maybe more. Yep, 60 coming into Loveland. Billy Dean, the bigger hail has been, it's been right along the river this whole time, Billy Dean. So if you guys definitely want to check Davidson. I haven't heard anything from Davidson, but you definitely want to check Davidson. Let me see where. Okay. That hail core staying just south of the river right now. So Davidson's definitely one area to check. Deval Randelette might be the next in line. It's warned for 2-inch hail, lime size, egg size, whatever you want to call it. But Davidson was one that was, I believe, close, if not hit hard. Is there more after these? Toby, not really. No. We should be pretty good. The wind in Hollister is probably about 35 to 40. So it's gusting pretty good. It's gusting pretty well right now in Hollister. So Loveland is the one. What do you think about Frederick? Well, I think since the leading edge of stuff has passed by Frederick, I think you are good. Yep. Frederick, I am going to say you are in the clear. Frederick, I'm going to say you're in the clear. Okay, Katie. Tornado for Geronimo. No, not what we're looking at here. Nope. There's still a very, very weak circulation area. It continues to weaken. That's not to say that one won't pop up down the line, but immediately, no, there is not one for the Geronimo area. It's just got to know if I need to pay rent or not. I'll do my best. I'll do what I can. Heavy rain west of Cache. Let's see. Go back here. So if you're in Cache, Elgin, you're kind of getting split. You see how it really just fell apart. There's that heavy rain in Cache. Yeah, there's nothing severe with it. Nothing severe with it, but we're going to see this line. You can see this is starting to trend up in this direction. Okay, this northern part of the line is starting to head our way. So we'll have to watch this. Karen, Lake Latonka. Let's see how fast everything's moving. Get my update on that tornado warning here in just a second. What's the winds going to be for Geronimo? Right now, about 50 is what I feel comfortable with. 50 to maybe 60. 50 to maybe 60. These storms have been... All right. We're probably looking, who was it? Karen. Probably looking in the next 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes for that little cluster of storms in Cache to head that way. And then it would be another 20, 30 minutes for the line after. Okay, that tornado warning has expired for southeastern Tilman County. That is some good news. That was the only tornado warning we've seen this evening. Has been allowed to expire. How is it going to impact the Central High area? So let me draw a new track for folks that are just hopping on here. Again, this is a rough track. Okay. It's a rough track. I'll push it off towards the northeast. So still looking at the possibility of 60 plus mile per hour winds. Central high coming up at around 9:20. Starting to rain a little bit. Southwest Lawton. Jennifer, no tornado for Geronimo. Somebody was asking if it was heading that way, and it faded out. So and that wasn't anywhere close to Geronimo. No tornado for Geronimo. Okay. Still looking at about 850 for that line of storms, though, to come in. Probably quite a light show off towards the south of town. Cash just seeing that heavier rain come through. But Lawton still looking at about 9 o'clock, maybe slightly sooner for the heaviest of the rainfall. I keep hearing. Okay, nothing going on in the northern part of the state. Still a pretty hefty line up here. This line still warning for 60, although it has a history of 70. Let's see. April, North Walters. Walters, I'm calling for about 851. So maybe 852. Lawton, Ohio. I knew of a lot in Michigan, but I didn't know there was a lot in Ohio. I do not have a forecast for Ohio. I apologize for that. Really cool light show southwest of. Thank you, Bobby. All right, back out a little bit more. Clear this off. I keep hearing sirens in my ears. It's these tornado warnings down here in Knox County, Texas. Knox County, Texas. That's heading in the direction of Seymour, Texas, if you know anybody there. But there are the storms heading towards Minco, Tuttle, Gracemont. Nothing severe heading towards Anadarko, Apache, Chickasha, Elgin at the moment. Yeah, it's like if we got our K and our H mixed up on that one. 5 miles south of Walters. So we're still looking probably about 845 or so. Come back in here, seeing the leading edge right there at Chatty, right as we speak. Let's go back in and see the wind. You can see that sharp cutoff here. Chatty, back around through Duval, the casinos, Burke Burnett. There is that heavy rain, the heavy wind. Poncho Lefty, any late night, early morning thunderstorms or severe weather will be it for the evening and tonight. The second, we're gonna pretty much after midnight, everything goes quiet. Okay, so after midnight, our severe weather threat diminishes quite a bit. Oh, he doubled down. He did mean Ohio. This is for Southwest Oklahoma. So this is an area I've been since 2010. I do not cover Ohio. We did have a sports reporter from Ohio that is still in Ohio. He might be able to help you a little bit better than me today. Should Randelette just get high wind and hail? Yes, right now. That leading edge right there, that's a pretty sharp cutoff. That looks like just more straight line winds. So, Amy, I think it should be winds and hail. El Corey, friends want to know if she can drive from Lawton to Medicine Park. Let's look. If you leave now, I think you'd be fine. But if you want to wait another half hour or so, I think you'd be a little bit better off there, Madeline. So give it another. If you want to wait, give it another half hour and some change. But if you leave now, you could probably get there just as it's starting to rain. So I'd probably hold off if it's not anything super, super important. Probably wait till 9 or so. Do the mountains have something to do with the updraft where it just splits these storms like a knife? Back where I'm from in Knoxville with the Appalachians, uh, yeah, there's more of an orographic impact there. But with the Wichitas, as worn down as they are, there's not really as much about an orographic. I know people. I know people think there's some sort of Fort Sill Dome or Mount Scott is breaking apart, but those mountains do not go up high enough into the clouds to really do anything. Stella, are we done with storms in West Lawton? We didn't even get any rain here yet. I think this batch coming out of southwestern Comanche County will bring us some rain and storms. It will get breezy. Anything too crazy, Stella? If you remember what we saw last night, that's about what I expect with this round. Okay. I live in Lawton, Oklahoma. I was just curious about Ohio. I am not going to hop away from Oklahoma when we've got stuff going on. OKC near Edmond. I think we were still looking closer to 9 o'clock there. We're still looking. That line is moving east at 40. Okay. That's about 40. So that's looking. So still looking about 9:30, Karina. 9:15, 9:30. April, no tornado. No tornado for Walters. But again, right now it is straight line winds, but still have to watch for the potential there. You could see any sort of wiggles along this line that could begin to produce a tornado, but I'm not seeing that right now. Right now, this is straight line winds heading through Chattanooga, Cookietown, Randelette, Duval. I try to keep it calm. There's no reason to get people all worked up about it. Again, you don't need a long, drawn out scientific lesson. I mean, there's times for that, but not when you're just trying to get information. Okay. So it's what I do, what I feel like sets me apart from everybody else. Okay. Just take it easy, speak calm. People are already worried enough about severe weather. No reason to get them all worked up about it. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that. So everything being flat, especially towards storms coming in so fast and hard, the little disruption it runs into just takes them off course, just maybe just a little bit. But again, just no real big orographic impact from these mountains that are out here. Zeus, we definitely need some rain. I think I only picked up about a quarter, maybe a half inch at best last night. In order to get the burn ban to go away, we got to get some more rain. We've got another opportunity here Friday night into Saturday morning. Good dump. It's another line that's going to be diving from the north and northwest this time. But it's not going to be a long, prolonged downpour. We could really use like one of those slow-moving storm systems to really wring out some rain. But we're going to get it in like the quarter and half inch at a time around. So just could use a lot more, and we're just not getting it in the length of time that we need it. Been a tornado, and yeah, I know people get all worked up about it. No, I will speak in an authoritative tone. You'll hear me get serious, but you'll not hear me get worked up and flap my arms and cry wolf and all that stuff. So just letting you know. I'm taken. Thank you. Let's see. Any concerns for Elgin? No real concerns. Continue to have just a broken line of storms. Basically everything north of Anadarko is strong, and then everything south of Lawton is strong. So Elgin kind of caught a break here. You'll see some patches of rain come through, but that's really about it. Charlie Bustos, any hail concerns for Lawton? Right now, it appears there'd be more wind than hail. The hail threat seems to be down in like Wichita Falls, Wichita County, Texas right now. This is more of a wind threat here, and it's going to be clipping the south sides of town. So, Charlie, I think we are going to stay just on the north side of any of that. Charlie, thank you for your service. Appreciate that. Come back in here on the velocity side of things. Again, you just see how sharp this line is right here. You can see a quick change from southeast winds to west winds in a hurry. Any wiggles along this line are where I have to keep my eyes. Okay. So you're trying to see, you can see what I mean here. There's a little surge right here. There's a little bit more, right? Little wiggle right here outside of Cookie Town. So it's things like that I have to watch out for. This is about 1, 2, 3, 4 miles north of Cookie Town, and it would be trending towards Walters. Again, I'm not saying there's a tornado with this. I'm just saying I've got to watch these little wiggles along this leading edge for a potential tornado to develop. Once you get past the leading edge, the tornadic threat drops off significantly. Okay. So let's see. Can you call up the storm gods and ask them to hold off on the severe stuff for Friday night, please? Some good raining sleep. Weather would be nice. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be more late evening, overnight coming through there. Hey, River, tell everybody hi for me. Good to have you guys. Hannah, you were asking about Loco. I think you asked about Loco a while back, and I saw it, and I chased a squirrel, and I ran off. I apologize for that. Let me come back in here on that and give you a true track on this. There's so many different comments that are coming through here, and I easily chase one and I go down the rabbit hole and do that. Okay, so apologize there, Hannah. Let me get this for you. Loco would be about 9:45. Loco would be about 9:45, Hannah. Dusty says that the wind has hit Iowa Park now. Sounds about right. Yep. Right there, Iowa Park. Tina, no. It'll get breezy. There'll be a light show. There'll be some heavy rain at times. I'm not really concerned about anything here. Go back to the velocity real quick. Still looks like everything will stay south of Lawton. So still Faxon, Geronimo over towards Marlow and Hewlin south is that area that we need to keep a watch for. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. We are without Channel 7 right now because of some mess with Dish. Not even missing it. Thank you for helping us stay safe. See, I'm just me. You get me on Facebook, you get me on YouTube. I don't have to fight anything. I don't have to go through a corporate office. I don't have to talk to folks in Birmingham, Atlanta, wherever they are. You get me and just me. So I get to make the decisions, cameras, equipment, when I go on, when I go off. I don't have to negotiate contracts, anything like that. You just get raw information when you need it from somebody you've known since 2010. Okay. So Debbie, thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. I don't know. Something suspicious going on looking at the line in the past. Makes you wonder, right? Yeah. Winds probably 25, 30, light rain in Cookie Town. Thank you. Any stickers left? I got to go through my list and get them to people, but yes. I've got a ton of these things. Thanks to the folks at Affinity just down the road from me for hooking me up with these vinyl decals, these die cut stickers. So yes, I will make sure I get a lot more of these, and I got to put them up on the store. So got to go back through that post. Working a full-time job, husband, dad of three. You know, I get to it when I can get to it. I apologize there, Amy. So I do have those. All right. Are we clear of the hail threat? I believe so. Yes. And I'm not sure if this is Keybone or Javier or Neff or whoever's on this one. But I think we are clear of the hail threat. It is just the wind that is going to be coming up here through the south side. Ah, yes. It would be the man, the myth, the legend, Keybone. Thank you, sir. We are out of the hail threat. It's just the wind. Wind, light show, heavy rain coming through here. So it's going to be coming into town here very, 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 very shortly. Wait, you have stickers? Yes, I do have stickers. I just don't have them on my store. I got to get the store relaunched again. I apologize for that. It closed shortly after the holidays, and I need to get that back. So still looking here probably in the next 15 minutes. I'm still looking closer to 9 o'clock here, Brianna. It has settled in Hollister now. Thank you, Kevin. There's a post. If you look on my Facebook page here, scroll down, there's a post. You can go comment on there and make sure you put your name on there because I'm going to follow that list first. And if I need to get more, I will get more. Okay. I will go to my friends at Affinity and they will help me get the shirts and all that stuff out. Okay. But still, let's go back to the velocity here. Delete my track. Still some little wiggles here. There's a little wiggle right here north of Highway 5. Just about 5 or 6 miles west of Walters. Channel 7 is on mute for me right now. Cover the earlier tornado faster and much better. Still on, and 7 has moved on to regular TV. So safer here with me. Well, again, I can control how long I'm here for. I mean, they can do the same thing. They are fully capable of being on social media too. But I control me. Rush Springs, I'm still looking at about 9:20, 9:30. How is I-44 going to be coming back from Oklahoma City? Let's look. Well, if you leave now, it's going to get wet here in a hurry. You can see that line from Apache to Anadarko. You're starting to see it fill in a little bit more. It's going to be, I would not want to make that drive, Tracy. That drive is going to get wet in a hurry. Okay. That drive is going to get wet in a hurry. Is Chattanooga in the clear? You are past that leading edge, Carrie? Yes. You're past that leading edge. You are good. So just the tornado threat has dropped off significantly there. You want to carry stickers on your person. Yeah, just carry them in my pockets. Just start passing them out. More like that, right? No. Okay. Ty, tornado threat for Duncan in the short term. Again, any little wiggle that develops here could produce a brief tornado. Again, not a long-lasting finger of God type tornado. It would be very brief, very small, very weak. Any little wiggle on this line would be one we would have to watch. Let me again double check the speed on this. We're still looking northeast at 40. Make sure I still have this at 40. Okay. And let's put a new track on here for folks that continue to hop in and join us. And Ty will get you a quick timeline for Duncan. Again, any wiggle along this line, we would have to bear watching. And I've seen a couple, but nothing has really gone past just the looking interesting phase just yet. All right. So bring that into Duncan. We're looking at about still 925, Ty. Winds have been gusting, Amanda, at about 50 consistently. Granfield gusted to 49. Fort Cobb gusted to 45. So that's what I've seen thus far. The strongest winds there. Hypothetically speaking, let's pretend someone parked under the covered alley at his church. We won't say which one. Might be one that both of you and I attend, and needed to go and pick up said vehicles. When would be a safe time to go? Well, let's track the back edge of this line at about about 40 miles an hour. Let's see where the back end of this goes. So let's see here. Let's track the back end of this line. Find the back end. And push it off. And it would be about 925, 930 would be the back end of this line. If you're just looking for the leading edge, it would be a little bit earlier than that. But just hypothetically speaking, if you did that, about 925. Do we need to take shelter in Comanche? No, I would say for now, just inside and away from the windows is what you need to do right now. Anisha, I hope I did not butcher that name. What's happening in Walters? Well, it's about to get very windy in Walters. Probably about 50 or 60 mile per hour winds coming into Walters. Is hypothetically great news. Just if that, yeah. Let's see. I am seeing some little wiggles on this line. Right now, every bit of 50 mile per hour winds coming into Walters. And you can see that's about 1, 2, 3 miles down the road. Still trying to get my camera up there at the library fixed there in Walters. Have a good look at the shelf cloud coming in for this one. What about the Waurika Lake area? I did not put out one for Waurika Lake yet. Let's do the track. I'd say about 9:15. Condra, about 9:15. Michelle Lawton is not in the clear yet. I'm not anticipating significant severe weather, but we are not quite in the clear just yet. We are not in the clear just yet. We got this northern edge of the line that continues to come through here. We still have some very, very, very weak, very broad. Is there a tornado threat in Wichita Falls? No. It looks like right now, Elizabeth, that is just straight line winds coming straight through downtown Wichita Falls right now. So now that leading edge is there, I'm not really concerned about a tornado threat there in Wichita Falls. I think it's just seen Dorothy and Toto fly by the house. What are the wiggles? Oh, I see. There are these characters, and they sing song. Maybe it's not those wiggles. Okay. So let me show what these. So we look down here. This should be a perfectly smooth line right here, and I can't draw a perfectly smooth line, but you can see where they have these little imperfections right here. There's a little wiggle right here. There's a little wiggle there, a little wiggle in here. So it's not perfectly smooth along the whole line. So those little areas where the wind rushes out and kind of gets ahead of it is where you could see a brief little spin up along this line. So And by the time you notice it and issue the warning, most of the times it's already gone. So it's really just nowcasting along these lines throughout the entire stretch. So yeah, that was a good question, and probably people are wondering what I was talking about. Not the British children's show. No, not the Wiggles or the Australian. I can't remember. Uh, love watching you so calm compared to the stress level some others throw out there. Thunderstorm warning came on for area in Geronimo. Just came on my phone. We are still good. The wind's going to pick up here in Geronimo in just a second. You're going to get hit with that wall of wind in just a second. How's Marlowe looking? Any hail? Not really anticipating hail here, Taylor. Be more about 9:30 that we could see some wind and some heavier rain. Amber, be careful what you wish for. We are working on it. We are working on it, along with some other things. I can't share when and where, but we are working on things. We're going to have a ribbon cutting for this business coming up here about the 24th of this month too. So there are big things going on. This is the year of the Texoma Weather Lab. So make sure you're paying attention. Geronimo's dead center. Should we cry now or cry later? Asking for a friend. No reason to cry, Cassie. It's just going to be breezy. It's going to be breezy. No reason to get worked up or cry or anything like that. I'm not seeing any circulation. You're getting the strong winds hitting town right now. Jamie, is there still another storm that is supposed to occur later this evening or tonight? No, we should be pretty much done. Once this leading edge goes past, we are good. So, Cash, you're good. Chatty, you're good. Granfield, you are clear for tonight. What about Temple? Okay, Brenda, give it another 4 or 5 minutes, and we're going to notice that wall of wind come right into town. Okay. Is the rotation coming through Granfield, coming through Duncan? So there's no longer any rotation in Granfield. That warning has been expired for about 30 minutes or so now. Right now it's straight line winds, Brittany, heading towards you. But as I mentioned, these little dents in the main line here are where I have to watch for any potential areas of rotation. And right now it's not really tightening up anything. Any hail or just high winds? Anisha, just high winds right now. Just gusty winds. Bobby says, here comes the wind in GMO. All right. My partner in crime here, Angela. It's windy down there in Geronimo. Hopefully the dog is calm. Hopefully the dog has calmed down long enough. We got half the town of Geronimo telling me the wind's hit. Thank you, guys. No. No, that is one wish I would not mind making. Give it time. We're working on it. Wind is hitting Walters now. Thank you, Bailey. Brenda, again, just about another 5 minutes, and that wind will be about 60 miles per hour coming through here. Oh no, don't put that on me. I'm not ready for that. I'm not cut out for that ticket, Keybone. Unless you're the vice president. Maybe I'll consider. What about Loco? So we're still looking at about 9:30 for that. Let's see. How's it looking for Hewlin? Nathan and Laura, probably the next 10, 15 minutes, still some gusty winds, upwards of 60. We've already got one right in from Zeus. All right. Lightning and Duncan. See, rain and wind just hit the east side of Lawton. All right. No comment. Will there be tornadoes in northwest Oklahoma City? Let's look. Same deal here. You have just these little dips in the line where you have to watch. Not saying it's zero, Natalia, but it's fairly low at this second. But it is possible. Finally raining west of Lawton, south of Goodyear. Got some rain coming down. Back out. Go back down south. We got some strong winds coming through Anadarko. No warning for that one. But we do have some broad rotation taking place there. Okay, so keep a heads up. Heading into Chickasha, Verdon, Ampo, up there in northern Grady County. All right, Brenda, it's raining here in Temple. Keep me posted if anything changes there. Too bad you can't see the full moon. Glad we got a light show. Pumpkin Center, lots of rumbles and lightning right now. Thank you for checking in from good old Pumpkin Center. Praying for you and me both. We don't want to see any of that stuff tonight. Lightning and thunder in Duncan. It's coming. Yep, it's coming. Still hasn't hit the county line yet with the rain, but it is getting there. Have you turned all the way up on my TV to block out this wind in Geronimo? Is it that strong, JC? Is it that windy? Okay. Come back. Well, we're going to... I see what they're going with now. So they are going to blanket this with a significant weather advisory rather than a severe thunderstorm warning. So gusty winds to 50. Every warning they put out here, the winds have struggled to get to 50 miles per hour. So anything severe for Comanche? Not this second. Kelsey. I'm butchering it either way. Sorry. Nothing severe at the moment. Winds at 50. Winds at 50. So still just shy of a severe thunderstorm warning. And not really any hail. Chris, you text me. You set it up. We'll get that taken care of. Okay. If you've got a place. Nate, JJ, anybody have an idea of a place up there? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You let me know. We'll put one up. We want to have one in Elgin. Brett, rain in Walters. Yep. Leading edge just past town. So that is, we're writing in the Chris Hayes. We're bringing in the pizza. Chris, I have to shamefully admit, I have not been up there yet. I have not had Pizza Corral pizza, so if you don't hold it against me. One day I'll get up there. Get up there and talk cameras. It's Kelsey. Okay. I want to pronounce the A so badly. Sorry. JC, wind is strong at a perfect, is stronger than a perfect from Luch Race here in Geronimo. Okay. Understood. Get the Elgin camera on the water tower. I don't know if I'm good with those kind of heights. I've been trying to stay away from radio towers and water towers. Maybe a nice performing arts center would be nice. We could start with that. Because I'm the one that's going to have to maintain it. I don't want to get on top of a water tower. How's the tornado potential looking for Lawton? Pretty low. Pretty low right now. It's not zero, but it's still pretty low. There's those gusty winds coming through town. Yeah, I know. It's better to be quiet and assume to fool than to open your mouth and be proven, right? That's not how that saying goes, but I think I got close. Yeah. We all have shortcomings, don't we, Mike? That was mine. It's still Nice smooth line, sharp edge here. Gusty winds coming through right along Highway 53 into eastern Cotton County, southeastern Comanche County. Greg, rains and winds picking up mid southwest Lawton, 11-mile-an-hour gust. Rain is coming down really good in Temple now. All right, we got a good frog strangler going on in Temple right now. I've heard you profess your love for that. I've got to try it then. All right, so no longer is there a severe thunderstorm warning in place. They're just putting out an advisory about 50-mile-per-hour winds. So we'll get gusty. Okay? It still could knock some limbs off, knock some things around if you don't have them tied down. But 50-mile-an-hour winds is about as strong as it gets. Let's get up here in the northern part. We get up here into Blanchard. Some strong winds coming into Minco, out of Anadarko, coming north of Chickasha, coming through Verdon. Oh, tell Keybone that we enjoy having you at work. We don't need you climbing any water towers. See, every time I go, when I scouted out the casino, when I scouted out the Walters Library, she's always afraid we don't need you ending up on the news that you fell off a roof. Protect him at all costs. So I've been sworn that I would be careful. Oh, and the other half of making sure I stay careful. Madonna, hello. Winds have hit here in Lawton. Yes. Rain is coming down good in Lawton. At least I don't have to wash my car, right? Washed my car a couple of days ago, kind of kicking myself. What a great way to end a birthday. Lightning, wind, some rain, and me. Well, I brought that down a whole bunch, didn't I? We'll keep him safe on the casino roof. See, these are the folks I'm dealing with over at the casino there, Angela. So they've got me good. They run deep with their crew, and they got us squared away. It was me that screwed up not dry fitting my pieces correctly, or else we would have one up there right now. So you can blame me for that one. I apologize, Michael. I sent you guys a message a couple of days ago. Hopefully you guys caught that one. Let's see. So still some gusty winds coming through Verdon out of Anadarko. Worrisome little appendage there, but not seeing anything rotating this second. Still see pretty straight line. No, Mike, I know you guys have got it. No, I appreciate your all's help. KF5 GMU. All right, back down here still, solidly 50-mile-per-hour winds. Raining pretty good at Liberty Lake. Yeah, I can attest. Tomlinson area, yeah, coming down pretty good. Looking out the front window here. Still looking at some heavy rain. We have just passed 2 hours on a live stream. Goodness gracious. Wow. Who else is doing that? 2 hours consistent on a live stream. Well, I know there's others that have done much longer coverage than me. Glad we're not having to do it for any longer today. So, what is Cyril getting? Well, let's take a look at Cyril. I know they were having a track meet there earlier today, Diamond. Hopefully they were able to get all that in. That rain's coming up the turnpike. It's in Fletcher right now. And you right here, it's coming up from the south. So right there on 277, coming right up into town. It's 1, 2, 3 miles out of town. So it's coming up that way. Be patient. It's coming out of Cove Acres, Lake Ellsworth edition, but it's coming. You're going to get some more heavy rain. It's already dumping in Elgin, Fletcher. Coming through Sterling. All right. Winds, again, as the winds have come through, they've not really topped 40. So we are trending in the right direction right now. Trending in the right direction. All right, so I got to be up early. Is it safe for me to close my eyes here on the east side of Lawton? Yeah. That leading edge is past. We are good. Lawton. Let me look at the velocity just to verify, but yep, we should be good in Lawton. We got some stronger winds coming out towards Trail Road, Pumpkin Center, Letitia. Okay. Are we going to get the Pizza Crowd Storm Chaser team rolling? I keep saying when he's out there, just let me know when the stream is going, and I'll pop it up there, right along with the WeatherLink folks. Get those guys out there, and the Texoma storm trackers, weather trackers. Gwill, I apologize if I butchered the name of that. It's just blanking on me for a second. Thank you, Karina. And I know you're up in the city, or at least you've got family up in the city. So not usually an area cover, but I know there's a lot of folks that have people up there. Were you talking about a camera here in Lawton? Yes. Talking about cameras a lot of places, but Lawton was working with the folks at the casino. We're trying to get that taken care of. I made the mistake and I managed to not get it fitted correctly. So that is on me and why it's not running right now. So Lawton is all good. Nice. I can go to sleep. Yes. Try to go every time the Pizza Corral folks are coming out of the woodwork. At least you can pronounce the surrounding areas correctly. I've had a lot of practice, Justin. I screwed those up when I first came here in 2010. Okay. It's tough. It takes a lot of practice. And sometimes an El Dorado will still get me screwed up. Letitia, good for the night. That front edge coming through there, Jana, I think you are good. Zeus, thanks for coming in, keeping some time. We'll do it again Friday night. Hopefully not so much. Can you see how much longer for Temple? Sure. Let me see. You're just now seeing the leading edge here. Looks like quite a bit more of that heavy rain is going to be coming through. Temple looks like you and Walters are going to see a decent little round of rain here. Cheryl wanting to know what about camera here in Duncan? I am talking to the folks at the Duncan Tower Shops. The at least the building owner there. I'm working on that. Besides the wind and rain, is Walters good? Yes. Heavy rain and wind east. Karen, you're welcome. Not a problem. What does the weather forecast look like for the next several days? Quiet tomorrow in the 80s. We've got some evening overnight storms Friday night. Easter weekend is quiet. After some morning rain Saturday, we're going to be down around the upper 60s. And then it stays quiet and in the 70s for much next week. Javier, thank you, sir. Heavy rain in Elgin. Tornado threat here in Edmond. Hadn't really been too concerned with it. Again, it's not zero because the leading edge hasn't gotten into Edmond yet. But I haven't popped up here and looked recently. Wrong view. Again, mainly straight line here, but you have these little divots. These little divots right in here where you'd have to watch. So it's not zero. It's not zero, Kerrigan. Not zero. Thanks for great targeted coverage for our area. Looking forward to your camera here in Duncan. Yeah, we're working on it. Trying to find times in between the 9 to 5 to get out there and knock those out. So appreciate all the help I get from folks at Coast Technology Group. Those guys have had my back. Jose, Steve, Kate, all of them have had my back. So really appreciate those folks. Appreciate your calm voice and for keeping us informed. Not a problem. Wind and rain just hitting Pumpkin Center now. Thank you, Jay LaRose. Still have some gusty winds coming into Ampo. Dutton. Oh, there's a Dutton. How did I miss there was a Dutton? And a Sooner. Okay. Pocasset is at least the one I know. Wind and rain hitting Fletcher pretty good now too. Yeah, I was going to say that that rain's coming down pretty good in Fletcher. About to see the winds coming into Stevens and Jefferson County, coming into Waurika Lake, Coram, Hastings. You are next in line for the wind. Walters, Temple, you are in the clear as far as the tornado threat is going. Not a problem, Brittany. Thank you. What to expect for the Bray? Matt, I read that way too quick, and I thought you were asking about the Bay Area. I'm a San Francisco Giants fan, and I started to wonder what was going on with that. The Bray Area. Sorry, Matt. Read that awfully quick. Got to slow down sometimes. Still looking possibility of 50-mile-per-hour winds. This line's still moving forward at 40 miles per hour. So let's get this. And any of those folks out here towards Lindsay, Maysville, Garvin County. Let's look out this way. Rush at 948, Marlow 937. Bray's down here somewhere, 946, Matt. 946. Again, nothing severe. Wind gust to about 50. It's even been hard for the winds to top 40 here lately. Winds gusted to 36 in Walters, Refuge, 32 in Apache. So, yeah, about 40 is about the tops right now. Really coming down good at Pumpkin Center. Need a Cameron Duncan. Would a windmill tower work? Jenny, you just missed my my water tower deal. Don't put me on a windmill. No, not. That would be a wonderful view, but yeah, for me to maintain it. No, I'm not getting up there. I'm not getting up there. Thank you, Rhonda, Kenneth, Matt. Thank you all for hopping in here. Again, nothing severe at the moment. There is a severe storm that's coming through Wichita County, down south of the Red River. Deanna, you're welcome. Thank you for hopping on here again. Hey, the biggest thing you guys can do for me while you're here, like and share this, okay? Helps the algorithm. It's always about the algorithm. More people like your stuff, the more it shows up on your feed. Okay, that's a simple equation. I'm not asking for any money from you. Just like and share it. Let your family know about it. And again, if you own a business or know of a business owner and you want to see them hop on here and they believe in the mission of what we're doing here, being a solo, independent, do what we want weather channel, love to hear from them. Okay. It takes a lot from streaming to social media to editing stuff, working with these individual companies, trying to get better as far as learning from other individuals. It takes a lot to get it going. And trying to go the infrastructure route here, that takes a bit too. So if you believe in that, again, just support the page, like, subscribe on YouTube, um, all that. Yes, Caitlin, we're good. That leading edge is past us. We're good. We can go to sleep tonight. We can rest easy tonight. Sure miss you on the station. Well, I appreciate it. I know there's a lot of folks that have mentioned something about that. That was another chapter of my life. I get to control things at my own pace here, and I'm in the comfort of my own home here. Like, I've got my corner office here in my house. The other side of the door here is my living room. My kids are sleeping just about, 30 feet down the way. So, I don't get that in another building. So thank you, Forrest. So Brenda, thank you for hopping on here. Appreciate the trust. Enjoy getting down there. I haven't gotten down there for my steak in a while. Ooh. All right. If things keep going this way, and it looks like another significant weather advisory came out for the line up in Oklahoma City too. So we are trending downwards, guys. Still the strongest part. It's down here right along the Red River. So still want the folks, looks like Randolette, Waurika, Ryan, Terrell. Haven't talked about you folks yet down the line. You would be the ones that see the potential for any strong, maybe severe storms. It looks like now along and south of 70. So Waurika Lake and south has that best opportunity. KK, miss you, my friend. Good to have Bronco Country hopping in here and watching. Gabrielle, thank you. Cheryl, thank you. Appreciate y'all. Crystal, thank you. Let's see. Again, if we keep trending down here, I will hop off early and I will just monitor things from the side here. Brianna Martinez, how's the rest of the night for Lawton? Well, we look to be pretty much done. Oh, a cool little swirl that came through town here. Yeah, we're done. We are done. Well, I say that. This down here wants to be interesting. It is trying to trend. This is trying to trend in this direction here. So we might see some more rain come up here within the next hour, but it looks like severe weather threat will have been worked over. It's going to come into an area that's already been rained on. So I'm not really concerned too much about the severe threat. We may see some more rain, Brianna, here in about another hour. All right, Fonza. Where is Mansfield? Where is Mansfield? What county is Mansfield, or a larger town? I feel like I had this with the towns over there in Garvin County a couple of weeks ago. I don't know all of my I-35 towns too well just yet. And I've got my phone right here too. I can easily search for where is Mansfield, Oklahoma. I got this stuff right in front of us. And I see Earl, 177. Oh, you're past Ardmore. You're almost to Medill. Okay. All right. Is Mansfield in the clear? No, you are down here. I see it now. I don't know what county Tishomingo is in. Again. But you've still got a little ways to go with this. This is moving east at about 40 miles an hour. So let's see this stop real quick and then see, doing the math, how long you've got. You got about 2 hours. So Fonza, you got about 2 hours. 2 hours before that comes your way. Okay. 2 hours before that heads your way. Teresa, thank you. Johnston County. Yeah, once it gets past 35, I kind of stop. I'll admit I don't cover too much of southeast Oklahoma, so make sure you guys are following Todd Rasmussen out there in Ardmore. He's got that southern southeastern part of the state covered pretty well too. Is Norman in the clear? Not yet. Not yet. Maryland, we probably have about another 30 minutes before that line gets there. But again, nothing severe. They're only warning for 50-mile-an-hour winds. So same thing. Everything seems to be coming down. I'll give it about another 30 minutes there, Maryland, and the leading edge should be there. Sonia, first time to watch you. I've heard good things about you. It's comforting to know that people like you are looking out for all of us. Not a problem. This was a career I did since 2010. Went to college for this. Moved out to Knoxville, my hometown, after being the chief here in this market for about 4 years. Worked in my hometown for 2 years during COVID, and then we had our first son, and things changed. Priorities changed. Came back here. So I am just supporting an area that has supported me, that we're deeply involved with, and that is taking care of me and my wife and my kids. So thank you, Sonia. Jay LaRose, thank you. Calming down now in Pumpkin Center. Looking like most of us is heading to the east towards Central High and the Duncan area. Speaking of Central High and Duncan, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning. So here we go. This is going to be, again, penny-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. So the winds are picking up again. So let's get a new track for these folks here in Grady and Stevens County. And let me get the speed on this. Nope, that's the tornado watch. Oh, no. You're going to lock up on me, aren't you? Nope. It's moving northeast at 45. Northeast at 45. All right. Let's push it towards Purcell, Maysville, Lindsay. So Duncan, 938. Marlow, 934, on the doorstep of Central High as we speak. Rush, 941. Lindsay at 10. Maysville, about 1020. Purcell, 1030. Pauls Valley, 1030. Candace, is this current storm it for Walters? As far as severe weather, I believe so, but there will be some more rain that comes back in on the backside here, Candace. You see down here around Burke, Granfield, there's more stuff spreading in. So Cotton County, Stevens County, southeastern Comanche County is going to see quite a bit more rain coming in here. So you guys are not done with the rain. So those areas that have really struggled with the really struggled with the drought. These folks in Cotton, Stevens, and Jefferson County are going to luck out tonight. So you're going to pick up your good rain tonight. So say your prayers, count your blessings that you're getting some of this extra rain here. Walters, Temple, Waurika, Comanche, Duncan. It's going to be coming through here. It's going to be sticking around for a little while. So kick open the windows and listen to that rain. It's been a sound we've been missing for a while, right? Been missing that rain, right? If you didn't pick up any or you're done with it tonight, Friday night is another opportunity. Friday night's another opportunity. Going to see if they issue another severe thunderstorm warning for this one. It's another 60 mile per hour wind threat. Maya Velasquez, any tornado threat for Wichita Falls now? Let's see. I can't say that it's zero, Maya. Can't say that it's zero. You've got some strong winds, at least, that are going to be coming into town. This bulge coming up towards Memorial Stadium in the next 10, 15 minutes. But I don't think a tornado. Winds will pick up for sure, Maya. But it's not zero yet. It's not zero. I can't count it out. Candace says the winds have picked up here in Walters. Thank you, Candace, for letting me know. All right, so now we're starting to see that leading edge of the line is now right along Highway 81. And we see another little bulge of the wind coming through here. Waurika Lake heading towards Comanche. So you'll notice the wind's picking up here soon too. Yep, some 40, maybe 50 mile per hour winds. Crystal checking in from Central High. Wind and rain very heavy there. Thank you for that. You can see that they've trimmed back on that tornado watch. Kiowa, Jackson, Greer, Washita, Beckham, and Harmon County are no longer in that tornado watch. So once you get that leading edge, clear your county, you're going to see it drop out. Okay. So we're going to start seeing these drop out as the line continues to push off towards the east. Main threats have been mainly for wind right now. Main threat is mainly for wind and heavy rain and frequent lightning. So they're noisy, gusty storms right now. Considering what it could have been, we'll take the breezy, gusty storms and the heavy rain, right? Take that 10 times out of 10. Oh, Crystal says we're out of power in Central High. Well, that's no good. Let's see if we've got any more power outages out there. Let's see. No. Washita County says they've got about 500 people out. I don't see anything popping up for Stevens County yet. Again, that takes a little bit to update. Still seeing most of the winds in that 30 to 35 range. Again, kind of muddled on here. Let me get back to the reflectivity so it looks a little bit cleaner for you folks. Leading edge of the line, about to come up on 81. So Chickasha, Rush Springs, Marlow, Duncan, Comanche, Waurika, everybody's going to see the rain smack them here real quick. Look down here towards the south. Seeing more of that rain starting to fill into southeastern Tilman County. It's about to get heavy again in Granfield. And I'm not really concerned too much about severe weather there. The severe storm looks to be down mostly around Wichita County. Cade, Broussard. What about Bellevue, Texas, and Clay County for the night? Well, let's take a jaunt down 287 for you. Let's see what we got right now. We're down here. Nothing's made it. Well, we've made it into northern Clay County, but let's see. This is moving east at 55 miles per hour. So let's draw a new track for this, Cade. Let's push this. Which way is it going? It's all right. Looks like about 10:15, Cade. About 10:15. Jacob, anything to worry about in Lawton throughout the night? Not really. What are you looking for? The Fox Graham area. Adrienne, is this Graham, Texas or Graham, Oklahoma? Fox. I know I've heard of Fox. Where is Fox? You guys are sending me your hardest towns. Not, I don't know where Fox is. Where is Fox? Where is Fox? Ratliff City. Okay, between Hilton and Ratliff City. There we go. Right there. Okay. There we go. Northwest Carter County. Thank you. This is still moving ahead here at about 40 miles an hour. Okay, yeah. Bellevue should be good. Yeah, Teresa, if you told me around Ardmore, I'd start looking there and I'd kind of work my way back. Let's push this in that direction. So, 10, 10, 10, 10, 20. 10, 10, 10, 20, Adrienne. 10, 10, 10, 20. Anything for Ardmore? Yeah, I think Ardmore will get there. This southern edge of the line is still 40 miles per hour as well. I can draw a new track for that. About 11 o'clock. So Britain, about 11 o'clock. Appears to be, again, 50-mile-an-hour winds at best. Mainly a wind threat with these. Heavy rainfall. Really haven't seen much in the way of damage or heard much in the way of damage from these. That's definitely some good news. right, checking back up here to the north. Can't use audio because everyone is asleep. Can anyone reply if the Yukon area of Oklahoma is looking safe for the night? Let me see. So here's the leading edge. That's all going that way. That's all going that way. That's all going that way. Does that work? Oh, hopefully that works for you. Good. Wash away some of this pollen. Yeah, we need to get rid of it. You can hear me sounding a little froggy at times. A little bit of phlegm out there. Hey, Sonia, whatever works. Draw it on there, whatever works. Yes, we are good. You can see all that heavy rain continuing to go through Chickasha, Tuttle, Yukon, western Oklahoma City, Mustang. About to come up on the airport. Hello, Christopher Watson. Thank you for checking in. We are all quiet on the eastern front. There's some more rain trying to come up from our southwest. We'll see what that does. Hopefully. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's all. That's all it is. Robert Denny, the wind is here. All right. Yep. It's right on your doorstep. Coming right into town. There we go. Need to go to sleep. It's for some reason my weather anxiety won't let me. Jacob, we're good. We're good. I'm not concerned. You shouldn't be. Go to sleep. That's what I'm going to do here once I pull plug on this. I'm going to go to sleep. Jacob, you're good. Trust me. Trust me. I'm serious. Go to sleep. You're good. Nothing severe. Chris, I have to get that link back. I have to relaunch the site. It's been built by Affinity, but I have to relaunch it. So once it gets relaunched, I'll send them the email and I will post that again on my page. Mr. Mitchell McKee, good to see you this past weekend. Thanks for discussing business. Appreciate it. That's what we do. We just crush things, man. So are we good in Marlow? Nothing tornadic. Nope, nothing tornadic. That leading edge right through town, you're good. Once that leading edge is rushed through, you are fine. So yeah, a little breezy, but the leading edge is passed through. Tornado threats all down. So all good there, Amber. Yeah, whoever said knock down all the pollen. Yeah, I could use that right now. Woof. Woof, woof. Tiffany, anything else for Frederick tonight? Yeah, it got a little windy out there earlier today, didn't it? There's some rumbles around. You might see some stray showers, but it looks like most of it's going to stay Granfield way, just out of reach. A few showers from time to time here over the next hour, Tiffany, but that's about it. Yes, he was driving on Rogers Lane heading west after getting a flat tire somewhere between Chickasha and Elgin. So he's been down here somewhere, some point today. Scared about the weather, but having a sleepover with mom and watching you makes me feel safe. Oh, glad we're all okay. Thank you. Gonna get the kids to bed. Yep. No hail in Surreal. How boring. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that hail up there. Nope. You are welcome, Tiffany. Again, these storms really aren't producing all that much in the way of wind. Let me put this back over here real quick, and you can see some of the winds that have been coming through here. 22 in the last hour, 36, 39, even up around the city, 44. These winds are really having a hard time. So again, if this is all these storms are going to do, I'm gonna cut loose here, and it'll be breezy, but nothing to really concern yourself with. As far as the rain, Friday night looks like it's late evening, overnight. Should not be potentially as strong as today, so that's definitely good. Okay. All right. Well, let me go back on here real quick. I'll keep a watch on things here from behind the scenes, but if the best wind speed we're going to get around here is 35 miles an hour and nothing else, I think we can just sign off of this one for now. Okay. So again, I've not seen any winds stronger than 40 lately. A lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning, some gusty winds, but not anything that's going to be damage producing here at the moment. Okay. So thank you folks for hopping in here. Make sure if you don't already like the page, you like the page or subscribe on YouTube. I go live whenever we have severe weather, and make sure that we keep things cool, calm, and collected here. If you've ever got any questions, you can always toss those in the chat and we'll try and answer those for you. But again, things are diminishing, trending the right way. If you are west of Highway 81, I think you're good to go to sleep. Again, you'll hear some rain here in Cotton, Stevens, and Jefferson counties for the next couple of hours, but nothing severe. So hopefully everybody has a wonderful night. Make sure to like this post, share it with your friends and family, like this page, subscribe on YouTube, help the algorithms. Make sure you see more of this stuff anytime severe weather comes around. A lot of things going on in the background, a lot of changes, a lot of good things. So make sure you stay paying attention to this page, and we'll keep you updated as we go through the rest of the spring. So everybody have a great night. I'll keep an eye on things from behind the camera, but if anything requires additional update, I will make sure I hop on and give you an update. Have a good night, folks. Sleep well. We'll see you again, possibly here on Friday. Have a good week.